All right, let's get started here. We got some people still jumping on, but it looks like my key people are here. We're just waiting. Justin was finishing up something real quick and then he'll jump on too. So, hey, Rick. Hey, Tyler.
Hey,
It's here.
hey,
Great.
hey.
Awesome. All right, I'll mute you guys here for just a second. Make sure everybody's muted. They come on. Perfect. Awesome. Great. Awesome. Guys, I'm so glad you guys are here. So, men have a huge voice in healthcare. So, for many of you that know that if a man is going to do something, they got to truly believe in it. Most men will go in very skeptical to anything, especially supplementation. So, for me to have guys here that can say, hey, this stuff works, supplementation is where it's at, gut health's where it's at. I just really think it's important for people to hear from our guys to say, listen, if you're not taking care of your gut, you're not taking care of your health. So, I am excited for the guys I have on tonight. We have our son-in-law, Tyler Lynch, who we are so blessed, takes very good care of our daughter, and we're just so blessed to have him in our life. We have Ed Lindhart. Ed and Chrissy went to church with us. Their daughter actually went to Haiti and did mission work with us, so they're very special in our lives. And then Rick Gross is also with me. Rick was in nursing school with me 30 years ago, which we're not that old, but it was 30 years ago. So Rick is going to share his Crohn's disease story and his weight loss of 63 pounds too. And then we have Justin, who's going to be hopping on here quickly. Justin and Megan were the reason I even started Plexus. They reached out to me for my Lyme disease and actually gave me my life back. So I owe them a gratitude of wealth for giving my children their mother back and my grandchildren their grandmother back. And more importantly, my husband, his wife back. So awesome. Without further ado, I am going to turn it over to Tyler. We'll start with you tonight.
You got me now? Good to go. All right. So, I guess my story with it is more started with the stomach issues. Growing up, I wasn't necessarily like a sickly kid. Just felt bad a lot. Had I was a strep carrier when I was young, so was on a ton of antibiotics there for a while. But overall, pretty healthy. Would just get some pretty severe illnesses, and would be on a pretty good dose of antibiotics for quite a while. And then my parents didn't really know much better, so would feed me the normal fast food and whatever foods I really wanted, pizza and just junk pretty much all the time. But I wasn't allowed to have Lucky Charms, which was devastating to me as a child. Um, but so anyway, I really equated a lot of that to killing some of the good bacteria inside of my stomach. Went through rotavirus as a kid, which was incredibly terrible, and I can really say I think that was when my stomach issues started to get really really bad. Uh, through my teenage years was just kind of like an irritable bowel syndrome. Had plenty of energy, but I kind of noticed that it was hindering me from doing a lot of things that I wanted to do. It was if I woke up in the mornings, and I'm a musician too, so if I had a show to play, I would always get like nervous and have to run up to the bathroom. Had to be really really careful of what I ate. And then met my wife now, who completely changed my world of how I eat. She is literally a 5-star chef. So we started eating a lot better. At least I did. She was sending me to work every day with lunch. I've always done construction work and worked outside, so I didn't really have time to run to a restaurant or something like that. So, just kind of still, lunches were hard. So it was kind of just packing, a sandwich and some chips and stuff like that. Wasn't really eating correctly at that point either, besides when I came home. But still just dealing over and over and over again with having to go to the bathroom. And it was miserable being on a job site in the middle of August and it's 95 degrees. And there's the good old Porta John I've got to run to. Um, and so, like I say, 2 years ago, still doing the same kind of stuff. 2 years ago, Tammy got on this Plexus, and I met a woman I had never met before. Me and my wife have been married for 6 years now, so we've been married for 4 years. I'd hung out with Tammy many times, and then 2 years ago, I met a totally different woman than I'd ever met before, and went, "What in the world is this? Like, what happened? What is this product that she's got?" Um, she sent it to us, of course, and Tammy is a 7. which those of you who don't know, I'm a 7 as well, but you know, I'm also a skeptic. So whenever she found this, she was like, "Oh my God, it's the best thing in the world." I'm like, "All right, come on, like it can't be that great." Um, but she sent us some product over, and I got on it and immediately had more energy after being on it for, I guess I would say about 2 months. Had a little bit of a die off period. Nothing terrible. Morgan definitely had one a little bit worse than what I had expected. But still, after we got through that first period, I started going, I don't, I don't understand why I've got more energy. I'm not having heartburn anymore. I'm not having to rush to the bathroom. You know, I'm able to eat pretty much anything that I want, and not suffer the repercussions later, because like I'm actually being able to go and clean this stuff out of my system instead of holding on to it for days. Um, and actually, speaking of that, right before we got on this plexus, my stomach issues kind of hit a peak and ended up in the hospital 3 o'clock in the morning, feeling like I had concrete in my gut, just from, again, you know, I got off the wagon a little bit of eating better, and started eating gas station food in the morning and gas station food for lunch, you know, being on the run, doing construction and excavating and logging and stuff like that. Whatever I was doing, just didn't have time to stop and eat. So it was kind of it was a big deal once I found something that kind of gave me a thing where I went, well, I'm not going to have to, you know, to rush to the bathroom, or I can, you know, have time to eat what I want. And I guess it's kind of funny now, you know, I'm on a schedule now. It seems like that I know, you know, this is what's going to happen. My stomach's not upset. If I get an upset stomach now, it's like, what in the world's wrong? Like something must be severely wrong. Like I've got a burp, or something that I ate was poisonous. Like it really is. It's a crazy thing to have a clean system now, that's not hindering me from getting out and doing things that I love. I love to hunt, and I love to snowboard, and I love to be outside. And I mean, I know a lot of you guys that hunt can attest. It's not a lot of fun to be out in the woods and have an upset stomach, and, you know, and worrying about all that. So this has been a huge thing for me, that, you know, I know that, you know, when I wake up in the mornings, I have my plexus, and immediately have that energy boost. And then, you know, it's kind of time, and it's time for the day, and I'm good. You know, I can continue to eat what I want. And like I say, me and Morgan are eating a lot better than I would say, you know, typical people do. We really try to look out for what we eat, especially for me. I work outside a lot, so I need a lot of good energy while I'm working. I run my own company, doing landscaping, and without this, I tried about, let's see, about a year ago. We tried to come off of it just to see, and I was off of it for 2 weeks, and I had started my business. It was middle of summer, and I came off of it. And I looked at my wife and I said, "Look, I don't care if you don't get back on this stuff. I'm getting back on Plexus. I'm done fooling around with it. Like, I love my X Factor. I love my ease, especially for me. Ease is a huge thing for me, because I'm working outside. Like, I'm building 300 foot of fence tomorrow, for these people, a big, nice decorative fence, and then mowing after that, and all kinds of stuff. So I'm always moving. And so having something that kind of eases my muscles at night and allows me to sleep is a huge plus. Um, yeah, I mean, I could go on and on about it. You know, Tammy made the joke, or I texted her the joke, that I kind of make sure that I have my plexus packed before I make sure I have my underwear packed. I went to Mexico this last winter, right across the border, to build a house for a family down there, and took my plexus pills. We have it all in pill boxes. I feel like I'm in my 70s, because I've got, you know, my pill boxes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and all that stuff. But and I go down there with all these guys that are, you know, a couple years older than me. Some of them range age, but they're all making fun of me for my pills. And then one guy, his name was Corey, a good friend of mine. He's just really having trouble. We traveled a lot. It was a lot of travel to get there, different environment, eating home cooked meals from these people down there. So our stomachs, you know, his stomach was getting a little bit jacked up. He goes, "Man," he's like, "how are you doing this?" And I said, "Dude, I've got all my stuff. I'm ready to rock and roll." And he was like, "Well, I can't seem to go to the bathroom. I feel so bloated and so tight." And I said, "Take one of my pills, just one BioCleanse." I said, "I guarantee you'll feel better. Give it a couple hours. I guarantee you'll feel better." And sure enough, he took that pill. And from that day, every day after that, thank God I had some extras I took with me. He took one every single day. Felt totally better. It was incredible. But yeah, like I say, I'm 26. And so it's something for me that's different for me to want to be on a product, like a supplement. And I'm sitting here going, am I going to spend the rest of my life on this? And as of right now, I can definitely say that I'm not coming off this junk. It's incredible. I 100% endorse this product. I haven't found a product yet that I'm not a fan of. I just started doing the lean shakes in the morning, and mixed with the PB powder, along with my Plexus, along with my pills. Sometimes if I need it, a little bit pick me up, and active in the afternoon. Because like I said, we have our farm here, so I get home from working outside all day long and have to go and work on the farm. And active's a good boost. About 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Don't drink one after that. Like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon is a shut off, because after that you're going to be wired until late. But yeah, incredible stuff.
It was kind of funny you say that, because I remember like you were taking off. Tyler leads worship on Sunday mornings, and he was going for a Wednesday night practice. The first time Morgan handed him one of his Slims, and Morgan's like, I handed Tyler a Slim before he left, and he went to praise and worship, and he comes home and goes, what the heck was that? Like that stuff.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny now. We used to just kind of take it, at the first I would kind of take it every other morning, something like that. And now we tried to switch off the plastic stuff. We're trying to, be green, more green. And so now we've got mason jars in our fridge that we keep with the reusable lids on them, and pull one out of the fridge, pour my Plexus in it, shake it up, drink it, wash it out, put it back in the fridge. Like it's every single morning now. That's my routine. And then I get my coffee, of course, still have to have my coffee, but it's incredible stuff. Yeah. Like I say, I'm very, very impressed with the product overall. It's incredible.
Love it. Love it. We miss you guys. We can't wait to see you guys.
Yeah.
So
miss you. And yeah. Yeah. And I'm sorry, I do have to run, guys. I would love to be here, but I actually have to go and continue to work on my farm, because my pigs need the fence fixed. So I will see you guys later. And again, if you guys have any questions for you guys on there, my name's Tyler Lynch. You can look me up on Facebook or on Instagram and hit me up there. I'd love to talk to some of you guys. Like I say, I am an outside laborer, so I can fully attest to how good this makes my body feel overall. So yeah, but thank you.
Okay. Love you guys.
See ya.
All right, next up, Rick Gross. Rick Gross and I went to nursing school together. Rick was suffering from Crohn's disease, and I will let him tell you more about his story. So let me unmute you, Rick. There you go.
Hey guys. Let's see, about probably 10, 12 years ago, I was having bowel obstructions. So I'd have a bowel obstruction. Some of them I could relieve myself within 24 hours and go back to work. And some of them I wasn't. I had to go to the hospital, and the doctors could never understand her, because whenever you have bowel obstruction, you don't have diarrhea. I had the diarrhea and the bowel obstruction, and was just totally couldn't do anything. But when it relieved, it relieved itself. So we decided 2018 that I was going to go in and get this fixed. We just knew exactly where it was. We were going to do it. So I went in November the 8th, I had surgery, came home. They couldn't find anything when they got in there. So the following week I went back to the doctor, and they decided that I was doing great, sent me home. That evening I obstructed. So we went back to the ER, spent over 24 hours in the ER, and I was totally obstructed. So they decided to admit me, keep me there. So then they decided to do surgery the second time. They just knew exactly where this is at. So they got in there, did surgery. Second time, found nothing. Actually tore my bowel in 3 different spots. Had to repair it. Brought me back to the room. Told my wife that there was nothing there again. And she says, this is nothing. He's going to be so upset whenever he wakes up. So when I came to, the next thing was they're going to put a pig tube in, because I couldn't eat, I couldn't do anything. So they wanted to get everything off of my stomach. So we put a pig tube in, which I still have in today. It's kind of like a teddy bear today, just in case that I get obstructed again. People live with them every day. I work with it, do everything, and continue to have it. Now, Tammy, you know, my wife, and a few thinks that I should get it taken out, but as I said, it's kind of like the teddy bear. So that all happened November to December of 2018. I came home with home health. I was on TPN, was off work for 2.5 months. In February of 2019, I had gotten back to work and was just exhausted. Nobody seemed to know anything about what was going on. They thought maybe it was a virus that hit my bowel, and nobody could decide. So I stopped by Tammy's house and said, sign me up for that stuff you got. And she was happy that I finally decided to come by and do it. So we signed up. And first thing she said to me, Rick, this is not going to work overnight. It's going to take you 6 months or more before you get to feeling better. And my first thought was, you know what? I do a month and then we're out the door. So I got it, started taking it, started feeling better. I used the theory that I was just feeling better. My wife kept telling me that Plexus is doing it. So I thought, well, I'll hold out for 6 months. I was really good about doing that. So 6 months came, and here I was doing things. I mean, you know, at first I couldn't even mow a yard. Now I'm mowing a yard and feeling pretty good. So I kept taking it. So it's been a year. In February, it's been a year that I've been taking it. This year I'm mowing 2 yards and still ready to roll. Actually, I built a chicken cage today out in the heat. We got new countertops. I've readjusted all the slides for all the drawers. I went through all my junk drawers and cleaned them out. I've actually been in the garage sorting nails and stuff today. And so, I mean, I take probably more than most people do of the BioCleanse, but it keeps me really regular and keeps me going. On top of it, I started taking the Slim, and I was taking it. I wasn't taking it faithfully. January 1st, I took pictures. I weighed, well, since September till a couple weeks ago, I've lost 63 pounds. Now, I'll say the Slim has done it, along with that you have to do exercise and you have to change your diet. I was last year in April, my stepdaughter got married. I was about 300 pounds there. So we just, I mean, I was miserable. Actually, that day I came to a halt that evening and couldn't even walk or do anything because my body would just decide to shut down. And I was standing outside the reception hall and actually couldn't move for about 15, 20 minutes until I got myself going. And that's, you know, the things that I was dealing with on a daily basis. When I got too exerted, my body had just kind of shut down for a little bit and I'd have to recover and come back. So taking the Plexus, taking the active, I take an active every day right off the bat. On the weekends, I take about a half of one because I don't like to I drink my coffee on the weekends. I don't do coffee during the week. So I like the caffeine in there and the flavor. So I cut it back to a half of one on the weekends and then back into, and I'm clear, I have a desk job. So I'm not very active during the week. I put in about 5 miles a night whenever I get home. So I'm quite active, and my wife will tell you that she feels that the active, she can see whenever I take half active that I'm not as quick and busy as I am whenever I take a whole one. But I take an active, I take a microbiome, and I take a Slim every day. It's just routine. I start out and take them, and I have about an hour drive, so I drink mine on the way to work. And by the time I get to work, I'm ready to roll and I'm on the phone, conversations, making decisions. I have a team of 20 nurses that I work with on a daily basis. Actually, I work for public health, and I'm directing people doing surveys out in the field with the COVID. So I'm quite busy, and then they're in and out of the office on basis. And this is one of the things that I've really been concerned about, is that I have a low immune system with Crohn's, and I was born with it. So with taking it and being around all these people that are sick, and being around, like my daughter and her husband was sick with A1 influenza, my wife and I never did get it. And I mean, we were there because his mother had passed away, and we were at the funeral with him, and you know, right there with him continuous. So I really base it that the plexus has caused me to keep my immune system up higher than normal. So
Yeah,
I
stand up, Rick. Also, Rick takes the collagen too. He's down 63 pounds.
am.
Yeah.
But the collagen just keeps me. I mean, the tone is much better in the pictures. I didn't realize until we took the pictures, the tone that I'm getting is great, and I'm not getting the flabbiness and stuff. But I take the collagen, a scoop. I only take a scoop of it. Tammy tells me take 2. Once in a while, I take 2. But I I take that. I also use the Joyum because I get dry skin from the Crohn's disease. Crohn's disease causes a lot of external problems. I get a lot of scaly skin here and there, and I use the Joyum muscle. And I said to Tammy one day, does this side of my face look different than this one? She's like, I don't know what's wrong. I use it on this side for a while. I just use it all over now. But, you know, there's not much I haven't used.
If a woman had 2 husbands, I have 2 husbands. So Rick and I went to nursing school. So it's like, what's my face look like, honey? I go, yeah, what are you doing? So yeah, take 2 scoops, dear. Oh, thank you, Rick. Love you guys. You and Mary are just a blessing in our lives. So thank you. Love you guys. All right, up next, Ed. Let me find you so I can unmute you. Ed, let me find you here. I got it. Ed, if you're on there, if you can unmute yourself, because I can't find you here.
Can you hear me now?
Now you gotcha. Thank you.
Hey, we are actually on the road on our way to Memphis, Tennessee. We are extremely active. We we pastor church. We run a business. Now Plexus is in our lives. It's been a blessing. And I don't know if you can hear, I'm actually at a McDonald's / truck stop. And Tim's here. You can see him in the background with me. He just started doing Plexus with us. And so I was like, hey, let's try this outside to see if they can hear us. And because it's stretch our legs a little bit. But I guess it started off with us, with me. She got this. I was having the same thing everybody else is having, a lot of stomach issues my whole life. I would eat, immediately have to go to the bathroom. It's been like that my entire life. And I can't remember being able to be very far from the bathroom. We do music and preaching, of course. And so when you get on stage, it's a horrible thing. You can't eat before. You always have to plan your life around meals if you're going to be in front of people like that. And so it was always just like, okay, I can't eat breakfast ever and go preach ever. And so that was my whole lifestyle. It's not like that anymore. It just immediately started changing for me. It was great. It was like this freedom that I've never ever had experienced, and I just couldn't believe it. Before I started taking Plexus, I was extremely tired. We worked really, really hard, and I'd come home. I just thought it was because I was getting older. I'm just tired all the time. Started having these weird chest pains. And in my whole family line, there's not a man in my family that has not had some type of heart attack and end up having open heart surgery. Every man in my family. My dad had it about a year ago. And so I was looking at talked to my cousin and it was like, he's like, are you getting ready? And I was like, ready for what? And he goes, open heart surgery. You're going to have two one day. And when he said that, something just sunk inside of me. And I was like, I have to do something. I can't just keep living like this. This is in our genes. It's in our family line. I'm going to have to take something and get healthy. I can't just continue like this. Of course, trying to eat better and all these types of things. But so we started taking this, and I started taking all the things that were taken, and everyday wellness pack and all this. And I'll tell you what, immediately I started getting energy. I just couldn't believe it with the grandbabies playing, being able to play and being able to do these things and not just be tuckered out every single night. That was amazing to me. And you know, I just started taking the Slim about a week ago, and I've lost about 5 pounds now. And, you know, and I was like, that's cool. I've been wanting to lose some weight and I need to lose, you know, some more. I'd like to lose about 20 altogether. And so I'm like, that's a pretty added thing to this whole thing. So I have energy and I don't have to hover around the bathroom. I couldn't sleep at night, all these things going on. And it's like they're starting to straighten out and they're just getting better and better and better. And so I would highly recommend this to every man. I really feel like that every guy should try this. And so that's kind of my story in a nutshell. And I hope you guys could hear it because I know there's traffic around me. So I hope it's all working out good. But it's been just it's really been just a wonderful thing for me. Tim's just now starting. He's getting his feet wet with it. Tim's actually got a pacemaker. His heart only works at about 45%. And so we're hoping this does great things for him and Deb. And so I said, hey, go on this trip with me. Let's go measure this big job. And so that's what we're doing right now, just out on the road, about to head to Memphis and measure this huge job that the Lord's put in our lives. And so hopefully that all works out. It's going to be wonderful. But God has just been doing one thing after another. And Plexus is part of this. It's been financially, the business end of it has been a great thing for us too. And it's only going to get better and better and better as this thing goes along. So we're really happy, and I'm very happy with the products right now. I won't quit taking them. And so I've noticed the difference so much. I'm like, you know, I ran out of Active, and I'm like, right now I'm like a junkie looking for it. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm going on a trip and I don't have Active? What is up? Deb's like, I got a few. And I'm like, well, if you don't mind, I'm borrowing some from you. Because I wake up with Active, you know, I got to have it. So it's like, so I'm like, I'm ready to go door to door and get my fix, man. I need my Active. But it's awesome, man. I love it.
Here. Yeah.
It's great.
I think it's funny how all of us say, you know, if we go on a trip, if I go on a plane, I don't care what weight the handbag, but my backpack's going to have my Plexus.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. And so I'm like, well, I might forget clothes, but I'm not forgetting that.
Exactly
Yeah,
right. And I love it, Ed, that you mentioned the financial part, because when Bill and I started this, I mean, it was just gut health. You know, it was like for us as a nurse and for being sick, it was all about gut health. And I didn't realize the financial blessing. And with COVID, I mean, your job was laying flooring for people. People didn't want their businesses or their homes. So for you and Chrissy, the blessing that this has been for you guys financially when you couldn't do your normal job was like, wow, I realized that, you know what? This is not something people need, that extra blessing right now.
And can I tell you something is when she's ever done anything like this before, it never had the financial blessing. It always costs. And I'm noticing right away, if people want to sell this, how generous Plexus is. It is unbelievable. And I'm just like, you know, you could make a good living doing this. It's not like it's not there if you work it. And so I'm just like, you go, girl. This is great. And you know, I'm wanting people to join the team and be part of this and find the healthiness and the financial freedom. It's there.
Yeah, and I think for us, the community of like-minded Christian people, that we all are family together and we do life together. That's another thing. Random problem.
Yeah.
So, awesome. We're getting kind of windy, so we love you. Stay safe on the road.
All right.
Yes.
We're going to turn it
Yeah.
over to Justin next. Justin and Megan Goff actually were the ones that got me started on Plexus. They had a friend, Shoshana Easling, who actually had Lyme disease as well, and her son had Lyme. So Megan was kind of a blind reach out to me and said, hey, listen, I've got this friend that's been sick with Lyme. She got better. Would you mind giving it a try? And honestly, it sat on my countertop for a year. I, as a nurse, didn't think that there was any way that this was going to work until I got to my critical point, and I had nothing else to lose. So Justin is going to tell us his story, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the business as well and how much it has blessed their family. All right, Justin, go.
Okay, here we go. Well, thanks for letting me join you guys. It's been an awesome Zoom so far. How cool to hear. You know, the crazy thing is I never get tired of the stories. When we do live events, we do all these things, I never get tired of hearing the stories. And and the crazy thing is we have a story. And I've been doing this now for 5 years, a little over 5 years. And the story I'm going to get ready to tell you is the exact same story I've been saying for 5 years. Like, it hasn't changed as far as like the health, as far as all these things go. It's the same story. It's not like I need to learn a new sales pitch. It's not like I need to learn some sort of an angle to work or an elevator speech. I just share my story. And the neat thing is that, especially with the guys on here, I love all you girls, don't get me wrong, like in the right way. I love you, you're great. But like, I love seeing the guys on here because I think a lot of guys suffer in silence. It's not manly to talk about, not being able to go to the bathroom, or it's not manly, whatever. So we just decide, well, that's not manly. I don't want to talk about that. Pink drink's not manly. I don't want to talk about that. Well, I'm coming to you as a former road construction guy. I'm coming to you tonight as a guy who spent 12 years in the military, and I'm not ashamed to talk about my gut issues. I'm not ashamed to talk about pink drinks, any of that stuff, because it's changed. So 5 years ago, Megan, as Tammy said, Megan was dealing with some issues, health issues, and we've been to doctors and all these different things. And my wife Megan had done her research and learned some things from a girl named Shoshana Easling, who was struggling with Lyme disease and found good results with the Plexus products. So Megan wanted to try the products. My concern as a guy was, how much does it cost? Like, that was my first question. I didn't even, I didn't care what the ingredients were. How much does stuff cost? Because we were already paying hundreds of dollars every month at a naturopath, a natural doctor, to try to get her healthy. So I'm like, man, I don't know if we can afford more product. She said, well, it's going to cost about $100. I'm like, well, we're already paying like $5. So what's another $100? So we started the products. She started taking them, and maybe some of you guys can relate. I'm the guinea pig, so I get to take things with her, whether I know what they do or not. Here, take these, they're good for you. And so I just, okay, you pack them in my lunch, I'll take them. And so she did, and we started to see that we really enjoyed the products. Not only myself, but my Megan and my kids, we started to see great results with them just by giving them one probiotic. 2 of my sons that struggle with eczema was gone in 30 days, and it hasn't been back. Like 5 years later, we don't have eczema in our home. So, which was amazing. So yeah, you can see some great skin results here on the screen that Tammy is sharing. So we started to see, right off the bat, we liked the products. So we kept taking the products. Some of the things that I personally saw with my health was I lost 20 pounds. I lost over 20 pounds in a short period of time. Another thing was energy. You've heard from some of the guys so far about energy. I used to drink 2.5 pots of coffee a day. So I'd wake up, I'd drink a pot of coffee before I got to work. I'd drink another pot of coffee throughout the day. I'd drink a half a pot of coffee on the way home just to stay awake. If I didn't have a half a pot on the way home, and a Snickers bar. I had to throw in the Snickers bar too. If I didn't have that, I would have to take stop. I used to work in road construction. We worked 12, 14, 16 hours a day. They were long days, hard days. But I couldn't drive an hour home after a day's work. I would either have to stop and load up on caffeine and a Snickers bar, or I'd have to stop at the gas station 30 minutes from home and take a nap. That was just the life I lived. And then I'd come home and I'd fall asleep on the couch. The kids would want to play. I'd fall asleep on the couch. I was just exhausted and I slept terrible. But thanks to Plexus, I think I've had 3 cups of coffee today. Some days I usually have a little bit more. I've had 3 cups of coffee today, mainly because I like coffee, but I don't have to have it all day long like I once did. Like you guys were talking about active. I had to go get my active mixed up for the day, but honestly, I have all day energy. I used to get up in the morning and shuffle to the coffee pot. That was just my life. And now I run, I ride my bike, I swim, I run triathlons. I qualified for the USA Nationals Triathlon Championship in August. And I think a lot of it has to do with how I feel because of these products. I just feel great. I have energy. They canceled the Nationals, by the way, so now I got to find something else crazy to do with my time, which I'll find something. So energy is one thing. Sleep. These products have helped me sleep deeper and longer than I have in my whole adult life. I wake up with energy. I go to bed and I sleep, and I get up with energy. Joint pain. I did a lot of marching. I did a lot of walking and hiking in the Army. I did a lot of work with my hands in the construction industry, and I dealt with a lot of inflammation. And so the products have definitely reduced inflammation for sure. And I don't deal with the joint pain like I once did. I run. One of the races I'm getting ready to go start training for will be over a mile swim in open water. It's going to be 56-mile bike ride and a 13-mile run. And I wouldn't have done that at 34, but at 44, I'm like, yeah, I'm in. I can do this. I feel good. I feel good. So the products have definitely helped. And Ease, there's a good product right there, a natural and anti-inflammatory. What a wonderful product that is. Wonderful product. And it doesn't harm your body as you take it. So it's a good natural product. So joint pain, regularity. We've talked about regularity already a little bit with some of the guys. I'm regular. My gut used to be such a mess. Like I was a slave to my gut. When my gut said it's going to hurt, it hurt. When my gut said, you got to go to the bathroom now, that means it doesn't matter where you're at, you're going to go. So I always had to carry toilet paper in my work truck with me because I had no idea when my gut was going to say, you go, you jump, and this is how high you need to jump. So I don't have to deal with that anymore. My gut's squared away and I'm regular. So that is a huge deal. Heartburn, I don't deal with heartburn anymore. Maybe because, well, my gut is healthy and because I'm not drinking 2.5 pots of coffee. So that probably helps too. Another thing is heat. This is something that's really interesting, and I'm not going to pretend to understand why. I was a heat casualty working on a bridge several years ago, and since that point, I could never, if it got to be upper 80s to 90, my body would just shut down and I'd have a crazy headache. Since Plexus, I've never had an episode like that, and I can run in 100-degree weather now. I can sit in a sauna now. I don't understand all that, but my body is able to still perform in high heat situations. Maybe Tammy, maybe that makes sense to you. I don't understand all that, but I'll take it because my favorite time to run, the hotter, the better. It's a weird thing I've got, but it's because of these products. And these products have been amazing for me. They've been amazing for my wife and my children. And 5 years later, I take them. I still take the products every day. I take the Triplex every single day. And we talk about travel and not forgetting the products. I don't forget BioCleanse. Like I'll leave my wallet home before I leave, you know, but I'm not leaving BioCleanse behind, right? That keeps things moving. But it's been such a blessing. So I take the Triplex every single day. Right now, I take the Active. You've heard about the Active energy drink. That's my new favorite product, by the way, hands down. Active helps me in my triathlon training. It helps my muscles to recover quickly. And it does give me a boost of, not a boost of energy, but just gives me energy, sustained energy. So I take that every day. I take the multivitamin every day. I use the skin cream every day. And since I've been training, I've been using the MetaBurn. I've been taking the MetaBurn also with my Active. So
I want to add,
also,
Justin, on the Active.
what?
If I could add in on the Active. So what Active does is it increases the nitric oxide production in your body. So when Justin says like he can run better and he doesn't feel fatigued, that's because nitric oxide expands blood vessels. So for you fellas there, this is an adult place. That's what's in Viagra. So for like Ed, for your chest pain, that's probably why you're not having chest pain anymore. Nitric oxide expands blood vessels. So you're actually getting more blood flow to the heart. So when you talk about muscle recovery after a strenuous workout, nitric oxide is what kind of opens those blood vessels and gets the oxygen to the cells. So that's what I love about it.
Yeah, amazing product. And I think it's my new favorite product for sure. Definitely. Now, I'm just going to switch gears here real quick. And I think it's important. You've heard a couple guys talk about the business a little bit. So I'm going to share about this for a few minutes because I think it's important to share. And one of the things is about this business, the reason the business works is because the products work. And it's not much more difficult than that. And you've heard some of the testimonies already. And there's so many more testimonies out there. But when we were taking the products early on, I was actually praying for an opportunity to be home with my family. We have 6 kids. Megan's pregnant with number 7. 5 of those, almost 7, are boys, and they need dad around, and I want to be around them. So when I was working construction, working all those hours, I used to just pray and just give us an opportunity so I can be home with my kids. I thought maybe we'd start a construction company or something along those lines and work together. I would have never scripted Plexus. I would have never scripted health and wellness or Pink or network marketing at all. It would have never even crossed my mind. So when Megan came to me and said, hey, there's a business opportunity with this, I told her no way. I said, these things are illegal. They're, no one makes any money. My name's important to me. My testimony is important to me. And I'm not going to ruin both of those because of some fly-by-night pyramid scheme. She's like, okay, well, do you mind if I do it? I said, sure. I said, I love the products, but I'm not going to share this with anybody. She's like, okay, just as sweet as she is. So I think 2 weeks go by and she gets a check for $500. And I'm like, so no, I didn't even congratulate her. I actually said, is this legal? Because I had no concept of this industry at all. And she's like, well, I think so. So we determined it was legal. And I said, it takes me a lot of hours away from home to make $500. I said, I love the products. I'm going to start looking into this business opportunity you're telling me about. So I started studying the Plexus compensation plan, and I started studying network marketing as a whole, the whole industry. And what I found was this is a legitimate industry if you have integrity, if you have good products, and if you have a good compensation plan. And fortunately for us, we have all 3. We have all 3 of those things at Plexus. So it was a good fit for us. And I just started sharing, and that was in 2015. By 2016, by September 2016, between Megan and myself, we had exceeded my construction salary, and it became very clear that the next step for us was to leave construction forever and just do Plexus full time. So I left construction September of 2016, and here we are, 2020. Almost 4 years now I've been home. And so, and Megan right now is at the top of the company. She's the top rank you could be in Plexus. I am one step away. This month may be the month where that's the expectation, is I hit the top rank in the company this month. And it's just coming from just a normal guy and a normal girl that we're looking for good products and we're looking for a business opportunity. And here we are. You know, Plexus has helped us to accomplish all these things. And I don't have a sales background. I don't have a business background. I was an Army guy and a construction guy, you know, but I have a story, and I keep sharing that story with lots and lots of people, and people need what we have to offer. So I love helping people, and that's just what we continue to do. So
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think any of us actually got into, I mean, most of us, just like Justin, were like, I don't want this business. I don't need a business. But it's funny because Nicole and Chrissy, who are both on the call tonight, they just started their products 6 weeks ago, and they both got $1,200 checks last month. And they were like, what's this? like you said, it's the most generous company that I have ever been with.
it's amazing. I'll just throw this out real fast. Not only the stimulus stuff they've thrown out, but the CEO of the company donated his salary for the rest of the year to the corporate employees so they could help their families through all the coronavirus. Now the only other person I know that's doing that's the president of the United States donating their salary.
Yep.
So that's a big step, and that just tells you a little bit about the heart of the leadership of this company. And I've been under some really great leadership in my life, and this is up there. The leadership of Plexus is up there as far as integrity and really caring about their people. It's something special for sure.
I think the mind growth too, you know, when you get really involved with doing Plexus, is they want to push you to become better you. And I know our daughter's still on the call, and Morgan said, you know, Mom, I would never have wished Lyme on you ever again, but what it's done for you mentally and physically and financially, she said we could go through it all again, and we would, because the mindset, you know, growth that we've had.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So awesome. Well, guys, thank you all so much for sharing, and I hope we can motivate some other guys, develop leaders, and help people grow. Yeah, Nicole, I agree. And the fact that we pray with each other so much. You know, I've never been in a company, and I've been in medicine my whole life, and you know, Rick has, Debbie has, Mindy has. You know, there's a bunch of us on here that have been in healthcare most of our adult career. I've never got to pray with so many people in my life. I've never got to encourage so many people in my life, and I've never got to see such drastic health changes in all my life. And it was even Morgan that I'd said a couple, I don't even know, 6 months, maybe Morgan put in the chat. It was like 6 months after I got better or something. I even threatened to go back to travel nursing. I was like, you know, I think, and she's like, why, Mom? Why would you want to do that? You have changed the health of more people in the few months that you've been doing this than you did in 29 years of medicine. I'm like, oh, it's true. But it was the mindset. It was getting past the mindset of what are people going to think of me for doing this? Yeah. And I just don't even care anymore. So I know my husband's on. I don't know if he has anything he wants to add from a male perspective. If I can find him. There he is. You have anything you want to add, babe? Hang on, I gotta unmute you. Unmute there, babe. So I can't hear you. Okay, I can't even unmute it there. Okay, all right, well, we weren't gonna hear from my husband tonight. I thought we could hear from him, but we can't hear from him. So awesome, guys. Well, we appreciate all you guys jumping on and sharing your stuff with us, and we love you all, and we hope this encourages somebody. So good night, all.